Teddy, regarding the fight, what do we need to look for in this? What does each guy have to do to win? Give us the breakdown.
Obviously, Fury's supposed to play with him, right? It's a money grab. It's an event, right? No doubt about it. And Fury is a world champion, heavyweight champion of the world. He's been fighting his whole life, boxing his whole life, amateur, pro, and he's a huge man. And Ngannou's a big, big man too, but Fury's even bigger. And it's supposed to be a no-brainer. This fight, I don't know, but it's the same pre-fight thinking as the Mayweather-McGregor. Crossover fight, MMA, UFC, going to boxing. They can't win unless they use UFC rules. It's almost not fair because they know how to wrestle, they know how to grapple, jiu-jitsu, throw kicks, elbows, and they're not allowed to use any of that arsenal, which is really what makes them king in their sport. It's what they prosper with. It's the striking, but it's all the other elements. Those elements all taken away from them, you can only strike. And again, when that's the conditions, there should be only one winner, the boxer, because he's been boxing his whole life, and at this level, a high level. So I'm here to say, yeah, it might be one-sided. It might turn out that way, just like the McGregor-Mayweather could have turned out that way. I'm not so sure. Only because Ngannou, I've been in the ring with him. The tape is out there. It's got millions of views. You were there with me in Vegas. He had asked me to train him for one day, and I obliged him. I was in Vegas, and I went to his gym, and I trained him for one day. I saw firsthand not only his power, which anyone could see and feel it up close, but I saw his athleticism. And I saw that he's smart, and he picks up things. And he did. In a little short period, I showed him a few things, he started picking them up. And I saw the advancements he made in striking in the Stipe fight, when he won his title, when he won his UFC heavyweight belt against, at the time, the greatest heavyweight of all time, Stipe, who's still fighting. He's going to fight now the greatest UFC fighter or the greatest MMA fighter, period, John Jones, the GOAT. He's going to be fighting him soon, coming up in November. I'm going to be at that fight at the Garden covering it for ESPN. But Stipe, when Ngannou fought Stipe, you could see Ngannou. Well, first of all, he had to be better, not just strong, but better to beat Stipe. And he was better. He was improved. He got better. So it shows you that he learns. He evolves. He picks up things. He adds to his repertoire. He's coachable. Okay. He's a big guy. Not as big as Fury, but he's big. Because he's that athletic, that smart, from what I witnessed at least, that able to learn on to learn, on the job, if you will, to improve, to get what he needs to get. I'm going to say that it could be just lights out for Fury. But it could be interesting. But here's the thing with the could, that goes with the could. He has the power to hurt anyone, including Fury, who has an unbelievable chin. He's been dropped by the biggest puncher in boxing, Wilder, a few times, and he's gotten up every time. So he's got a great chin and a great constitution, a great heart. Does Fury great, Just great. You got to applaud him for that. And Ngannou has shown, I think, a stout toughness to himself also when he's been tested, where, he's been on the floor being threatened to be submitted and he hasn't. That shows a resolve right there, that you can keep the devil from the door and not give in to compromising yourself, to submitting in any degree. So a lot of stuff that's interesting there. If he can, no matter how much power he has, Ngannou, it means diddly squat if he can't get it to the chin or the body, obviously, of Fury. If he can't land on a target, it means nothing. Nothing. He has to have, as I always talk about, a delivery system to get. That's going to be the key. Has he developed that delivery system in the time from the fight being announced to now? And for me, the delivery system would start with the jab. Has he worked on the jab enough to do two things? One, to set up his power with the right hand, whatever he wants to land, to get to the target, the chin, let's say, of Fury. But the other is to stabilize Fury where you don't dominate him on the outside with Fury's. He doesn't get dominated with Fury's best punch, the jab. And where Fury's going to use that jab because he's tall, he's long, he should use that jab. And he doesn't allow Fury to control the whole fight on the outside with that jab. So he needs the jab for two reasons. One, to have a chance to land the power. And two, to just keep Fury from controlling him all night. In other words, to take away Fury's jab a little bit. He doesn't have to 100% take it away, but to nullify Fury's jab at least to a degree where he's not dominated by Fury's best punch. If he gets dominated by Fury's best punch, the jab, and doesn't have an answer for that, then he's going to get destroyed, Ngannou. Destroyed. Because there'll be a matter of time before Fury drops the right hand on him or something else on him off of the jab if he's controlling the range with the jab. So that is tantamount. That is the first priority, the jab. To set up your power and to keep Fury from controlling you all night with his best punch. The other thing is, if I had been training him, I would have been teaching him some tricks because he's an underdog. He's going to need a trick. He's going to need some trick to pull off an upset. What do I mean by trick? Some kind of disguise, something that I teach with fighters. We teach with fighters where you can catch a guy because you make the guy think something else is going to happen, and then this happens. Maybe you slip to your left. As you slip to your left, trying to get his eyes to go over looking for a left hook, you shoot a right hand. Maybe you bend low, you throw a right hand to the body, and then you bend low, and then you throw the right hand up top. And you catch him thinking it's going to come. Some kind of trick. You time him. He's jabbing, you time him with a right hand over it. Or maybe you slip parallel with the jab. As he's throwing the jab at you, you slip slightly to your left, parallel with, and you shoot, as I talk about, it's like riding the rails. I call it riding the rails. You shoot the right hand right down the parallel with the jab of the guy that's throwing it at you, and you ride the rails right to the chin. There's got to be a trick, something. Now, that's up to him and his trainer. His trainer, from all we've understood, is Mike Tyson. Hey, Tyson might have done a great job with him. He's never trained anyone before, but that doesn't mean that he couldn't do a great job with him out of the box. Maybe he did. If he did, you know how Tyson's going to approach it. He's going to approach it with, the peekaboo style, slipping shots, trying to get close to the shorter guy. That makes some sense. You want to get close to the shorter guy, you slip the shots, you get in close, and you got a better chance to land something. Maybe he's even working on a Tyson uppercut where you bang the body inside, you explode that uppercut, which Tyson knocked out a lot of guys with. It was devastating. We're going to find out. The only problem with that, he better be careful. If he's moving that head from too far away and Fury's controlling the range the way he should control the range, he might be vulnerable to getting pot-shotted with an uppercut before he ever gets close. And Fury throws a good uppercut, a very good uppercut. He's stopped Dillian White with the uppercut. A few guys that he's been able to really bring home the bacon, if you will, with that jab and that uppercut. There's another side to that, too. If Fury drops his hand, gets a little careless with that uppercut, and Ngannou's been taught to slip it and makes it miss, he could counter him with a left hook. There could be an opening for that. So some interesting scenarios that I'm giving you here. Comes down to how serious did Fury take this fight, this event, this moneymaker? How serious was he? Is he in real good? We saw some early pictures. We had his manager on. We saw, some early pictures where he didn't look great. He never looks like an Adonis. Fury. His body's not made up that way. He never looks like Hercules. But when he's in shape and when he's in better shape and not good shape, he didn't look in good shape. Talk about Adonis. He looked more like, I had said it to his manager straight up, the Pillsbury Doughboy in the pictures that we had seen. But he's had a lot of time since then to get in better shape. I haven't seen any pictures of him recently. I'm going to assume he's in the right kind of shape. But the mind, did he take this serious, or is he taking it in a way that, I'm just going to, again, the way that 90% of the people are taking it, that I should dominate, I should have no problem with the guy. If his mindset is that he's overlooking Ngannou, who's a good puncher, who's a good athlete, who's a professional fighter, even though it's not boxing. He understands that domain. He understands how to be calm in an uncalm environment. He understands how to keep the door locked when the devil knocks at it and tries to get you to give in, to submit. He understands all that. If he's taken for granted that Ngannou, again, is just being fed to the lions, like we talk about sometimes, he could get careless. He could get caught. He could have a surprise. At the end of the day, I know we're going to get into the odds. I can't go against Fury, but I'm just saying that don't completely, Fury should be a big favorite. We're going to find out the odds. I don't even know what they are, but he should be a big favorite. But it's a 10-round fight. At the end of the day, don't sleep on it. Don't sleep on a guy that there's basically three elements here. Ngannou can punch. He's an athlete. 4 elements. He's in a world of fighting mentally, so he knows how to handle that. And then there's the X factor. Fury. It's all in Fury's hands, really. It really is. The X factor, the 4th element. Did Fury take him too lightly? Not come in physically and mentally prepared and might get a little careless and get caught something. Those are the 4 elements that matter in this fight. At the end of the day, I'm going with Fury. He's a special guy. As great as Ngannou is in his own aspect, in his own right, Fury's special. Anybody could get off the floor the way he did against Wilder and win the title, and then come back and win the title, the second one, and destroy Wilder. and fight off the demons that he has in his life of, alcoholism and drug use and depression and thinking about suicide and come back from all that, that guy's resilient. That guy is, it's going to take, you might have to do a Dracula on that guy. You might have to take a wooden stake and bang it into his freaking heart to get rid of a guy like that.